skins, let's get it. Yo, shirts and skins, and we back again. The best coverage in college sports, we come to win. With Brandon, Mark, and Matt, no one go hard as that. Share it with your folks and they'll learn where it all be at. It's just three of the guys, childhood friends that be setting the vibe with a few hot takes, jokes, and predictions. Love the Boise State, we now welcome you to listen. Shirts and skins, let's go.
Bronco Nation, we are here, everybody. How are you? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for making us part of your day. I'm here with a couple good buddies. All good buddies here. Matt Lamb.
I'm here.
Mark Moss. Got a really good guest for you today. Really excited. This particular guest, I believe I get the years right. It looks like played from or with BSU from 2005 to 2008. 2004 to 2008.
Oh.
Already up.
ESPN
has 05 to 08 seasons.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. 05 to 08 seasons, yes.
There we go.
Middle linebacker.
2004 was my redshirt year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you graduated in 09, 08.
Spring of 09. There was
09.
this one class I had to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good. You could recognize him if you were to search bloody-nosed linebacker in the Statesman. There's a famous picture of Kyle Gingg with like blood all over his face. Ooh. Yeah, anyway, Kyle Gingg, middle linebacker, Boise State, incredible player. He's our guest today. Everybody welcome him. All right, that's exciting. Yeah, we even got cheering and everything. I looked up a bunch of stats, and you have a lot of tackles. It shows you have 3 interceptions.
Sure, put me down for that.
And it shows that you have
Agree
one.
or disagree with 3 interceptions? Do you remember?
Do you remember
those?
him?
Go with it.
You don't remember him?
You don't remember
You
any
do?
of these interceptions?
Really?
Yeah, 3 is what it says.
You were there, right, Kyle?
No, actually, no.
The
I
CTE
read
is
it
kicking in a little.
Forced fumble. 6 sacks. It actually says you have 1 carry in the 2006 season.
Did you get a handoff?
Was it a fumble recovery and
That's
a run?
probably what it was.
Like on a kickoff, maybe if you picked up a fumble and
the 2006 season.
that's the
not
Fiesta
ringing a
Bowl
bell.
season.
That is the Fiesta Bowl season.
Good
Well,
stats.
they
Good
should have kept going because you had -1 yards.
Oh,
It's picked
Yeah.
up one
Hey,
backwards.
On ESPN.
I tried to get a carry like all 5 years.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Well, and
Because
they
I played running back in high school too. And so, I was a lot bigger then than I am now.
but you deserved better than 1 carry for
1 carry
-1
for
yards.
-1.
I said, hey, yeah, if it's first and goal, I'll get you 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
If
came
it's
up.
first and 10, I'll get you 5.
Forget
Every
Ian
time.
Johnson. Forget
Yeah.
Richie Brocco, right?
Yeah.
Put you
Ooh,
in.
yeah, that's right.
Hey, I'll
Richie
call
was in
Brockle
there.
out right now.
For what? Anything in particular?
If it's running the ball, I think I got Brockle.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Brockle, he had like the largest arms
He still does.
of
Have
anybody
you
on
seen
earth.
him recently?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, like the circumference of his arms
Yeah.
were like his shirts must have been difficult.
He was in the Mega Pipes Club. Yeah.
What
It was.
What was your playing weight, and what's your weight now?
I'd say my best weight was 215.
Okay.
And you played middle linebacker?
I mean, yes, that's
Yeah.
short answer. Yes, but I played them all. I played weak side. I played strong side, and I played a season on pretty much all of them. But yeah,
215, and what do you weigh
yeah,
now?
weak side linebacker. Will linebacker was probably my best position. So
Which kind of small for a middle linebacker, weak side linebacker.
what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying. I mean, if you were to line them up here,
I mean, out?
just saying.
I mean, Brandon played cornerback in
I did.
high school.
I did. Yeah.
well, back then,
Yeah.
it wasn't big by any means, but
It was a different time? Is that what you're saying? Or
yeah. Well, actually, I guess you could probably argue that the size of the linebackers probably come down.
Yeah, they're shiftier,
Yeah.
leaner, longer, right? But
Yeah.
not as stout.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school and kind of early days of college, it was Brian Urlacher and those big guys were, kind of the stud linebackers in the league. But you look at who's the guy for the Bills that I like.
Right now?
He got hurt this past season. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh boy, NFL talk. That's the podcast down the hallway.
No, I'm gonna tie this in here.
That's where things start to drop off.
Leighton Vander Esch, though, they kind of say he's the prototypical. I know he's injured
he was
now,
big. He was big,
but long.
Yeah.
6'3".
Yeah,
Right.
Not Von Miller, right?
Matt Milano is who I'm thinking.
Matt
of.
Milano,
Yeah,
okay.
he's not very big. Fred Warner's.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
You
not
could
real
take
big
him.
either.
He went to BYU. You could
So
take him.
Matt
right?
Milano, 6 feet 221.
Yeah,
NFL
that's-
linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In relation to Alyssa Milano?
Possible.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
possible.
know. But I mean, I could run, so it's like I just missed it. But football was a little different then. It was a lot more power football.
Well, you had the neck roll.
you have neck roll?
Collar?
I had the cowboy collar.
Yeah,
for,
that's right.
for one season because my neck. Yeah, I tried anything to just keep my neck from hurting.
Who were you? Was this J.C. Percy? Did you guys play together? Or was that later? Who
Well,
were the
he-
other linebackers with you? You
With
were
me?
Yeah, you
Wh-
were after
which-
Corey Hall.
Yeah.
And what was some of the other starting linebackers that you played with?
So after Corey would have been like Dallas Dobbs,
Yeah.
Tim Brady.
Okay, I remember these guys. These are before you, or this is?
No,
with
those guys were in my class.
They were in your class.
They were
Okay.
in my class, and then underneath me, Daryl Akery.
Okay.
Good player.
Yeah, great guy. Still lives here.
Med sales rep, I think. Is that what he's doing? Is he a
think
medical sales guy?
I don't
You had
remember.
a bunch of
A lot of those
people
guys
from
are.
that. went
Vinny
into
Peretta,
medical.
some of those guys are.
No,
Vinny
Vinny's-
Peretta on.
Vinny's not.
He's not doing that anymore?
No, title and escrow.
Oh, okay. he used to
switched
be a
over.
striker rep. I know that.
So the Winter
Selling.
Strike did striker for a while.
Yeah, the
Winter-
striker. They like the.
So yeah, I ride bikes with both those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like mountain bikes or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Winter Swikes in ag insurance. Now.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
He's probably upset that you left the ag industry.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I
read-
want to talk to you about dairy insurance. You're about a year too late, bro.
Yeah. Dude, well, actually, while you're at it, give us an update. So you graduated in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you went to Arizona.
Yeah, I went to Arizona for about 5 years. Went into the family business. So I come from an ag family.
Like you went to the state of Arizona, not
State of
to
Arizona.
not to University of Arizona.
No,
Yeah.
screw that place.
Not after. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
They didn't
Tucson,
recruit you. I got a feeling.
I was like, you weren't like a.
They had their chance.
You would. I'm saying like you
passed.
didn't get your master's or whatever at
Yeah.
Arizona.
No.
Okay.
He's an ag. He didn't get no master. What are you talking about? They
Yeah.
got land and they got money, man. They don't need no master's degree.
Yeah, so went back, did that. My brother and I started our own farm and dairy, and then we sold that, moved to Texas in 2014, and built an organic dairy out there, and we milked about 3,000 cows, and sold that end of 22. And what Cody Johnson says, you got a chance, you got to take it.
Okay, go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So now I'm
I like
here.
that.
This
song.
is your chance.
Great song.
So you
Trying
were
to think
in
the next line.
you were in East Texas.
Yes, sir.
Which part? What was that? Was
Van
it?
Zandt- that's Van Zandt County.
Oh yeah, very well known.
Yeah, just outside, Kaufman County, Rockwall County's kind of up there, but we're just east of there.
So you're not doing dairy. You just kind of left the dairy because Idaho, like Jerome, Twin Falls is a big dairy.
It's usually number 3. Texas and Idaho kind of battle
Really?
3 and 4
Really?
as far as number of milk cows and
Who's 1
dairy
and 2?
production. California's number 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's usually California's kind of always number 1, and then you got Wisconsin, New York, Idaho, and Texas really wasn't that big until.
Till Gingg Family Farms.
Well, I have an uncle that moved out to the Panhandle, I think in 2007. That was kind of part of a first wave of a lot of dairies that went out there from California and stuff too.
You just kind of herd your cattle from California and just migrate all the way over to
Yes,
Him and Elon.
yeah, across the Rockies, and just like Hannibal and the elephants. Just,
Yeah.
Get
Riding
across
across,
the river.
yeah.
It's like the Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah.
So then you moved here. What are your plans? What do you want to do? Anything?
Are you working right
Lots
now?
of stuff. So define that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a
Well, you
podcast.
define it.
He's on the local podcast tour.
Yeah.
It pays well.
Yeah. Well, my wife, she started working at the school, so I'm kind of a trophy husband.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say it pays for my beer.
Yeah.
So
You walk around the neighborhood and all the subdivision wives are looking at you and take your shirt off, that type of thing.
yeah, as long as I shave my wispy chest hair.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But no, so when I sold the dairy, I just went into investing in real estate pretty much full time. Now, it's not as much time as running a dairy farm, but that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Awesome.
You do that on your own or with somebody or?
Yeah, on my own, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I bought three commercial properties and manage those myself, and looking for new projects right now. So.
And we found out, before we started recording, that you haven't been such a great Boise State football fan lately.
Yeah, I will admit, but I would say my priorities were in the right
Okay.
spot. Yes.
Yeah, I bet you when you graduate, I bet you're tired of football.
Yeah, you kind of get
while.
to that point where it's like, man, my body hurts, which thinking about it back then, it probably felt a lot better than it does now. But yeah, you're just kind of tired. You're kind of tired of doing the same routine. Let's call it what it was. I wasn't no superstar.
But you were starting. Yeah. I mean, you were a good player.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a bright pro career for me.
Yeah.
So it was just, I kind of, you kind of see the writing on the wall, and it's like, all right, let's focus on life after football, because it happens to everybody eventually.
You didn't have any desire to play
Not really.
anywhere.
No, you could have. Maybe I could have pursued the. You get the tryout and get on the practice squad, maybe get a chance to go up. But to me, that you don't get really paid that much to do that anyways. Yeah. So I might as well focus on the next stage of life.
Now, did you have brothers or that played football, or how did you get into that? Or
yeah, so I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. And we started playing football the same year. I was in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade. Matter of fact, we were on the same team because my mom didn't want to shuffle us to practice. It was, So I had to gain like 10 pounds when I was 11 because at that time, it was like an age and a weight range. So yeah, that's how I got started. Yeah.
And this was in Arizona?
Yeah. Yep. The Far West Hombres. We actually we won the state championship.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Far West Hombres?
The Far West Hombres. Pop Warner, the Far West.
And is that
the Far West was the division. Our team was the Hombres.
Oh, gotcha.
And is this in Phoenix or what part of
just
Arizona?
west of Phoenix. That's where I'm from, West Valley. Mm-hmm.
And then when you were coming out of high school, why'd you pick Boise? Like, what was that?
Really, it was the best team that I could play for.
Yeah.
That was kind of the main thing, and that was kind of I'm trying to think. I think that was when I was getting recruited. It's like Ryan Dinwiddie, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Avalos was kind of our big stud defensive player. It was just kind of like a big up and coming program, and I got offers from Nevada. A few of the Ivy League schools wanted me pretty bad. I really wanted to go to Arizona State, but
understandable.
Yeah.
Arizona State. I'm trying to think who the coach. What was happening at
Dennis
Arizona
Erickson,
State?
maybe.
Yeah, was it?
Is that what it was?
That?
Well, part of that's
Cutter. Could have been Dirk Cutter.
maybe.
that's
It
true,
wasn't
huh?
Herm.
It could have been Dirk Cutter.
I think it was Dirk because he left in
in
06, I thought.
No.
Arizona State. He
No.
left Arizona State in 06.
Oh, right.
He got fired in 06. Dirk.
Yeah,
you go talk to
Dirk.
him. Talk to him about it.
No, and they recruited me a little bit, but yeah. So my grandpa played at Arizona State. I mean, I'm talking like leather helmets. Yeah, and so he went to every home game for like 53 years or something. So yeah, he used to take my brother and I with us. So I grew up going to Arizona State games. But so yeah, I had my sights set on Arizona State, Stanford. I would have loved to go there.
Yeah.
But No, it worked out pretty good.
Were your grades good? You're pretty smart guy.
Yeah, I was pretty good
Ivy
student.
League, man.
Yeah. I got a letter from Harvard. Oh, sorry to hear about your, you're going to Boise State.
Oh, did they say?
Yeah, they sent me a letter. I got it somewhere.
Sorry to hear
Missed
that.
your chance.
Yeah, like, dang, I guess.
Could have played in that Harvard versus Yale.
They don't do
Banger.
scholarships, though, do they?
No, it's all financial aid based
Yeah.
on basically what you can afford.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, really?
If you can get in.
Yeah,
but
so they kind
don't
of gave
have
my
that.
parents an enema to try and figure that out.
Did they really?
Well,
They came. Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean,
but
right.
yeah,
It was a figure speech, Brandon.
like a financial enema. Yeah, trying to really
Exactly.
get up and in there and find out.
yeah.
I didn't realize they did that way.
Yeah.
Financial
That's so
enemas
much-
or
I've never gone through one.
It's like, yeah, probably worse than getting a loan.
yeah.
So what? They just like prove income for a couple years or something?
Pretty much, yeah. You got to prove income. Yeah.
Well, that's it, dude. Arizona State, when Jake the Snake played, was like, I don't know why that time was awesome when he played in the Rose Bowl
Yeah.
versus Ohio State.
Yeah, Jake
It
the
was
Snake
like-
was pretty sweet. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. Then you had Pat Tillman.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's
Pat
right.
Tillman was a stud. Archuleta was kind of right after.
Ah,
him.
that's right. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
couple good guys that played
Well,
for
I wonder
Arizona
what
State.
happened to them.
Well,
Like,
Pat,
they've just really fallen. I mean,
I think it's a hard place to
20
win.
years. Yeah, but
'Cause-
why?
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause it's-
tons of talent. You're
it's-
close to Southern California.
Yeah, it's Tempe, man. I just think
It's just kind of I mean, I've been to an Arizona State game. In fact, I went
think
to
there's a
Andrew
lot of-
Luck played down there. I went
Yeah.
to that game. It was like half empty.
yeah. I think there's just a lot of other distractions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
And it's hot. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really hot. But so is practicing on the blue. That's
Yeah.
probably just as hot
In
as
the
some
fall?
of
Yeah.
the practices
Summer? You-
I had as a kid.
when you came, you didn't have the indoor facility. You didn't have a
Yeah,
bunch of
well,
stuff.
the indoor, I think they built that. What was that? The 05 season?
Oh, you just started getting.
Yeah, but this was old school Boise State, so it's like there it is, but we ain't freaking.
You can look at it. We're
10
not going
degrees.
in there.
Hey, yeah, let's go. Come on, let's practice
10
outside.
degree- Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think, and I think one of those years we actually our bowl game was here at home, and then so it was like, well, yeah, what are we going to practice on the indoor for? No, we're playing outside.
Yeah.
The worst part about football is playing in like November when you're like running and you're like sweating really bad, and then you go to the sideline and it freezes, and then you come back
Yeah.
out, you're running, your pads are freezing, and
Yeah.
that was like high school. I don't know.
So who was the coach that recruited you or had the most involvement with your recruiting process?
The most involvement would definitely Coach Harsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
So he had Arizona. Was that his like territory or something?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, him and Hawkins ate a big steak dinner that my mom cooked.
They made her.
yeah.
Did she offer or did they make her?
Oh no. This is how my mom rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Actually, sounds good, man.
she lays it down in the kitchen. Let me tell you. Yeah, my wife does too, but
Nice.
yeah, my mom's flank steak recipe was pretty good.
So what was that relationship or that interaction like with Harsin? What do you remember?
Man, you're bringing up a bunch of stuff I haven't
way
thought
back,
about in
yeah.
a long time.
Like, were you super excited? How did you know Boise State? I mean, I know you said it was the best college that offered you, but
Yeah. The interaction, it was pretty good. And honestly, now that I'm you're jogging my memory a little bit, Harsin was just a pretty normal guy. I mean, he was easy to talk to. He was young at the time. He must have been 26 or 7, and was just kind of a good dude. Hawkins is a little harder to talk to, but that's just kind of his nature. But, so, I mean, we talked on the phone a few times. I mean, they came and visited me a handful of times.
ate some steak.
Yeah, ate some steak. Yeah, offered me a scholarship in my living room there. I remember that, clear as day. Yeah, no, it was a good experience. The whole recruiting thing is, I don't know what it's like now, but it was kind of, I didn't really enjoy the process. It's a little stressful. It's probably kind of like selling a house, maybe. You think it's worth this, but really, It's kind of worth that. For me, anyways.
Yeah.
But no, I thought with Boise State it was definitely I enjoyed the process. I certainly liked the coaches, and it was took the trip up here, which was good. Boise State doesn't have like your typical college culture, which I think is probably a big part of the success here. There's not a lot of other distractions except for, the outdoors, which was great. But
that's interesting because I wonder if that's changed very much. Like BSU's changed quite a bit.
yeah.
Have you been down there lately?
Yeah, I've been to a couple games. Yeah, a couple
Just
games.
have a lot more on, because when we went, it was like, there was as far as on-campus housing, there was those, what are they, the towers or whatever, they're super ghetto.
Barns, towers,
And
or
then
something.
there's way more on-campus housing now, but it's still not University of Idaho or something that's just, frat row and everything. It's still not that. But I do think there's a lot more going on at campus than it was 15 years ago, is my feeling about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, probably.
You would think so, but yeah.
And you had a class with Brandon at Boise State.
Couple.
I did.
Couple?
Yeah.
A couple.
What were they?
We
You remember?
we had the most valuable
Was
major.
it Borf's class?
We had Borf. We had a bunch
Oh, I
because
had
we were the
Borf.
same.
You had Borf, didn't
I
you?
had Borf.
I had Borf
Yeah.
too.
Borf was
Nah.
good.
He'd be so proud to see us sitting in this room right now.
He doesn't remember me.
No, he didn't remember me either.
No, we have the most valuable major from Boise State.
What?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial management.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like people come all over to recruit those guys from entrepreneurial management.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some big hitters going in there.
like the dairy farmers. Ooh,
Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
tough
no,
to
we
find
want,
them
we
off.
want that guy. We
Yeah.
not the ag school.
Not the actual, no.
Why would we do that?
Yeah, there was a bunch. No, we would walk. I walked out when I graduated. Everybody's like, come work. I'm like, no, I'm going to go get an entry-level job over at Albertsons and
Yeah.
kind of do that thing.
That was smart.
We had a bunch. We had a bunch of college classes together. It was a pretty good time. Borf was a funny guy. There was some funny stories that Kyle would tell about Borf for whatever reason. Anyway, Borf was a good guy. I wonder if he
you
still
ever
teaches.
have
Crown Royal.
The Crown
Oh,
Royal
you
one
always
was
want Crown?
hilarious, dude.
Yeah. Did you ever have Scary Harry White?
I never had him. No, he was the other finance guy.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good. He was funny though. Didn't try to be funny, but he was hilarious.
No, I only had Borf. I think Borf and Harry were the only guys that were doing finance. But no, Kyle was good, and Kyle was actually one of the only football players that was like willing to do work in the classroom. Like, well, Winter Swike, he was in one or two of my classes. He was pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's might not have been real smart, but I'll work hard.
Yeah, he did.
The only football player I think I had in my class was Anthony Montgomery, the kicker.
Well, were you
Monty.
computer?
Yeah.
You were
That
computer.
was like a business class.
Ah, that was business class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Way back when. That was when, like, the business building at BSU at the time was just
Was
junk.
like
Bricks.
That sucked, dude. There was
Bricks
like,
and, like,
3 windows or whatever.
drafty, cold,
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Kyle, do you pay attention to any of the stuff going on, like NIL or anything?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we talk about it with people. I mean, I listen to sports radio sometimes.
I wonder what it would have been like if NCAA football came out and you got like $1,000. How much is it per player?
You're getting like $600
$600.
$600 per player. You guys saw that came out. Hey, actually, BSU was on the cover.
I saw
of
that.
The field
The field
was on the trailer. The
trailer.
first shot.
See, like Wyoming had like 8 minutes of time, like Texas had like 7.
Is that all
seconds,
due
you
to?
Hang on.
Seconds.
Refresh my memory on what you're talking about.
So
That's like minimum. Is that what you're talking?
minimum what?
We're talking about the football game that's coming out, the video game.
You remember
Yeah,
NCAA?
see that one?
Yeah.
It was gone for like
No, I
8
didn't.
or 10
10
years.
years.
And because the name, image, likeness, and stuff, and
Yeah.
and so it's coming back. It's coming out in like a couple months. It's coming out in July, and so they're paying every player that opts in like $600 just to be in the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. But
Kind of
which
interesting.
is not a big. I mean, Most of the kids, I'm sure, would do it for free. I mean, you're in a video game. How sweet.
I actually like that video game quite a bit.
Yeah,
that was like one of
that's
my
a good
favorite
game.
video games.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad they brought it back. But $600, that's kind of cool. I don't know.
Every
Unique.
single player.
Yeah.
They get expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot of players.
A lot of players.
Yeah. Did you ever? I mean, you never had chances. I'm trying to think. Was there much? You don't have to answer like money going around to the program under the table at all with you guys?
No,
or-
you got to answer it. You're here. You can
Yeah.
I'll answer that.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. You betcha.
Nope. Yeah. I don't know anything.
Yes.
So yeah, you talk about like classes. You know, you made the comment. I'm one of the only ones who actually tried.
Yeah.
You know, but I know there were players that didn't and
Still passed.
got an A.
They were maybe getting a little help.
You know, so it's like I know that's going on, but for me, it's like that's way more work to try and figure that out than to just pay attention to class and get your crap done. So as far as like the $100 handshakes, that was going on, but I mean, it's just I'm not the type of person that's just going to go and seek that out.
Yeah.
And I guess that comes back. I mean, I wanted a superstar, so it didn't just get thrown at me. So, but yeah, it went on. It didn't go on as much as you think.
Wonder if like in the SEC or something, it was just so much more common or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's
just
interesting.
such a bigger stage too, and that's I mean, yeah, there's just a lot more money floating around in some of those communities as there is up here.
Yep.
Wonder if anybody offered Kellen a $100 handshake.
Yeah, I would see. Yeah, Kellen, Zabransky.
I'll bet Z.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt Z was. Kellen, I don't know. But something about Z
Kellen's
tells
like,
me
what is
he didn't have
this?
too many issues with those.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. I think NIL is such an interesting topic that we all discuss quite a bit. That's just changed so much over the last. They changed the landscape so
yeah.
much.
I would hate it as a coach.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's the old adage that a high school player will run through a wall? You know, a college player, you could probably go through a pretty thick hedge, and then like the pros is just, they'll just do what they want. But
Yeah.
I think that probably moves all of that back a notch.
Even further.
Yeah. So most of these kids, they can't even wake up on time, probably. I don't know. 18-year-old kids getting a bunch of money. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about it yet.
Did you guys ever complain about not getting a piece of the pie at all?
Well, there wasn't much of a pie
I'm not a complainer.
back then, though. Like Boise State was starting to win games,
the
but like even now at Boise State, like, do you know how much money Boise State gets for TV money?
Well, how much the program makes?
The program, yeah, sure. The program. I mean, back then,
Isn't it in the 30 millions? How much it?
not profit.
Oh, not profit revenue.
No. Yeah. Revenue's up over.
But I don't
30.
know what's the profit margin on a college athletic program. Like I don't know.
Most of them, if you take away the state funding and the student fees, lose money.
Okay. Do
Yeah,
you know
Boise State is probably close to break even. But the weird thing is that just how different. I mean, Boise State makes like $4 million a year for TV, and the Big Ten schools are about to make 70. I mean, the difference there is like incredible, and it's like I don't know how many times that is, but it's like is their value really that? I don't know. I mean, your value is whatever someone's willing to pay, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to be the expectation, though. You probably, nobody gets anything, so, what am I going to get by going? I'm going to go play football.
Yeah,
I'm an amateur.
And really,
School paid for.
Yeah, you get school paid for. If you want to get anything, you got to show up and work hard and do the right things and be the best you can, which I guess is still the case. But I would think when they're paying people, there's so many kids that think they're worth probably a lot more than they are. And when you're that young, you don't know what to do. I mean, you're growing up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the other thing too is you're hearing stories that they're leaking out about just the handlers of these kids and their families and agents now. These NIL agents make 20% 1%.
It's
Like
more
a real
pro
agent
agents.
makes less than 10. Yeah, they make
Yeah.
more than double what a pro agent makes. So these NIL agents, they're just like taking advantage of these kids. And I mean, we've heard stories from people that like basically these kids is NIL agents and sometimes family members are like lining things up at these new schools before they're even in the portal. And then they're like telling the kid like, hey, you got to get in the portal. You're going to make X dollars over here. It's just crazy.
I don't think that sets you up well for when football ends. I mean, it could if you're smart. You know, if you get $100,000 or a couple $100,000 a year playing college football, you should get out. You should be shitting in tall cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what even that means, but I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
I just wonder though, if you're a starter and you're not getting anything, and it's, you know, the running back or the quarterback, they're getting 3 or 4 or 500,000. How would that make that person feel to be like, well, I guess so, you know, that's fine with me, or they don't come to practice or whatever. I just wonder if it causes any problems with like
It's tough for team chemistry and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially like offense versus defense, right? You know, I could see how, you know, an offensive player that maybe doesn't even play nearly as much as a defensive player, but, you know, scores a few touchdowns, getting more money than the guy that's, you know.
He gets 1 carry for negative yards.
1 carry, negative yards.
I'm telling you. I would have punched him in every time.
If you could suit up, could you get more than 1 yard like today?
Yes, but I don't think I'd try.
Like,
Yeah.
the pain would be not worth it.
No, so funny story. I think this was 2011. I had one of my best friends from high school was coaching at the high school we went to, and he calls me up. He says, "Hey, we got the best team on our schedule. They got a stud running back. I want you to come and play scout team." I was just like, thank you, Lord.
Find my chance.
I'm back. Coach Choate. Actually, you know what? Quick aside, Coach Choate was going to give me a carry at our last home game on senior night, but I had the worst flu that game. I was just like, no,
Not worth it.
Sorry, I'm not. I wanted it bad, but anyways, so yeah, I suit up, and I was still like lifting a lot and stuff. I thought I was in pretty good shape, and I'm playing running back. I'm not even kidding you. The first play that they call is a pass play. So I get in my stance and I'm thinking, you just go up and fill this A gap. I'm like, I'm gonna freaking hammer this kid that comes through. This little high school punks, right? So snap the ball. Yeah. And he was a big kid. He's a D lineman. Okay. Snaps the ball. This kid comes through and I hit him. Like, you know, just head first, hat in hands, boom. My head goes back, and like I can't move my neck.
Now you're just like first play.
And I was just like I was frozen the whole practice. I couldn't barely even get in a running back stance, man. I was just like,
Did you go back?
yeah.
Was that the only day, or did you
I
go
think
back?
I'm done.
So you mentioned Choate, right? So you played for Coach Choate.
He was the running backs coach when I was.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
So when Andy Avalos was hired here 3+ years ago, there was a big, I remember on Twitter, there was a big campaign by ex-players for Coach Choate to get the job because he interviewed for it. And then he didn't get the job. Then Andy Avalos gets fired. From what we understand, Coach Choate interviewed again.
Okay.
Just
now?
Just now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Didn't get the job. So
he still at Texas?
Now he's at Nevada. He got the head coaching job in Nevada.
Yeah.
Anyways, but there wasn't that, and not to compare, but Andy Avalos did not have the same groundswell of player support ever online, at least, as Coach Choate. My sense was that the players that played for Coach Choate really liked him, but sounds like you played for. What was your recollection of Coach Choate?
Yeah, I loved him.
Yeah.
I loved him. And matter of fact, The year after I left, he became the linebackers coach.
Okay.
So I was pretty. Let's say upset. I just I missed it. You know, that would have been great to play for him. Yeah, just great energy. You know, I watching him coach running backs. I mean, it was kind of funny because the linebackers met in the team room. You guys probably hadn't been in the old football offices, but so we met in the team room, which was kind of more or less open, and then the running backs were the first room that we could see, the first office or whatever right there, and so we'd have 20 minutes of our meetings left, and Choate would just like, the door would fly open. He'd be laughing with people, just like making jokes. Like, you know, it's just like
Good times, man.
oh, it used to put Wilcox in a pretty bad mood, but
Oh, was he the linebackers guy at the time?
yeah, that's yes and no.
Oh.
So Coach Ville, you remember him?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was technically our linebackers coach, but anyways, but yeah, Wilcox was in charge of the meetings most of the time, pretty much all the time. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So yeah, I think he took it very seriously, but just had a good time. You know, you got to have some fun when you're out there grinding away and stuff, and I think he, was. I got nothing but good things to say about him.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
I wonder how good he'll do at Nevada. That would suck if
He'll
he's
do
like
better
the best.
than the last guy. They've gone 2-10 the last 2 years, so their over under is 2.5 on the year.
I think that's another tough place
Yeah.
to win. Yeah.
Reno.
Yeah. Just
It's kind of like Idaho in that at the 1AA level or FCS level, they probably would do fine, but just have made it. I mean, other than the Kaepernick years, obviously they had a couple years there with Cap, but other than that, they have not had success in football at the Division I level. They just haven't, and they were really successful in the 90s and 80s in the Big Sky.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Just all the casinos, and I think UNLV is probably like that too. That's just, I think, probably a pretty tough place to keep your players focused.
Dude, if he does really good.
And there's a lot of all-you-can-eat sushi places there.
In Reno?
Yeah.
I've never been to Reno. I would like to go. When we go and play at Reno, I would like to go.
How
one of these days.
far away is that?
I know Brandon's a big fan.
I don't know. We've
Big,
been to
all you can eat sushi. Yeah.
The special tuna, especially.
Have you been back to?
Oh boy. Wait, what's the sushi story again?
It's not good.
Okay.
What do you mean? It's great.
So this was an interesting time when, so Gingg and I were in a couple classes together, and I think it was a finance class, whatever. I thought it was with Borf, but anyway, there was some group assignments, and usually Gingg and I would, pair up and we do an assignment because we both just did the work and turned it in. And anyway, on another one, Kyle calls and he's like, so there's a few guys that want to get in on this project with us. And I was like, oh yeah, how many? And I think it was like Bissell. I forget, there's a D lineman guy. There was like 4 guys that wanted to just write their name on our paper. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I guess, but I mean, it'd be nice if they just did something. And so we're emailing papers around, and one of the guys, I think Bissell, emailed the paper to me, and I read it, and it was like, a foreign language. Like it made no sense at all. And I called Bissell.
I don't remember this at all. I just remember the special tuna.
No, well, I called Bissell, and I was like,
good.
I was trying to talk to him about like, what he meant to say. And he was at a party, and I was like, so what are you trying? It was just bad timing. Like, the whole thing was, like, bad timing. But I'm like, what did you mean to say? He's like, bro, I don't know. Just whatever it needs to say, just can it say that? Can it just say whatever you need it to say? Just have it say that.
Yeah.
And then I finally got the picture. I'm like, he doesn't care. So then we turned it in, and it was like 6 pages of work. But 8 people were on the paper, and Borf turns it back. He gave us a B. He's like, so for 8 people, you got 6 pages of stuff. Anyway, when it all went through, Kyle's like, hey, these guys want to take y'all out to sushi. And I wasn't a big sushi guy, but I'm like, that's cool. Let's go. And so me, and Winterswijk and met a bunch of guys at IOU Sushi.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh no, I totally remember it. I just don't remember who was there. I would have thought
There was a
I would have
bunch.
thought Bingham would have been involved.
Bingham was there. Yeah.
Okay.
All super nice guys, by the way. Really, really nice
Yeah.
guys. They bought me sushi.
Yeah. So Bingham's from Reno.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
he was the first person to ever introduce me to sushi. And for whatever reason, there's a bunch of sushi places in Reno. So that's how this is all getting tied
Yeah, I
together.
mean, we go to sushi, and it's my first time doing sushi. And Kyle was like my handler at the time. He's like, "Hey, eat this, don't eat that." And I was like, "All right, I like the crunchy stuff." And then Bingham or somebody's like, "Hey," talking to the chef, "Hey, give him the Bronco special." And everybody's
no,
like,
it's special tuna.
Special tuna.
Was that what it was called? I thought it was, but everybody's like, started bouncing. And I'm like sweating. I don't know what it is. And the chef's laughing, and he starts cutting up stuff, and then he hands me the plate, and it's
a bahina.
What's that?
Made out of sushi.
yeah, it was a female private part.
Oh.
That's how you speak it.
Yeah.
Espanol.
Yeah, I guess so. And so I was like, I gotta eat that, and Bissell's like, yeah, you can't use your hands. Yeah. And I was like, I did all this, like, why do I have to do that?
Yeah, you did all the
So
work.
I'm like sitting there, I'm like sweating it out, and they're all like, staring. I'm like, whatever. And I go down, and I chomp it down, and I couldn't eat it. Like I'm like,
You ate that special tuna like I've
I
never seen.
ate
somebody eat a
it, but
special
I didn't
tuna.
eat it. Like I didn't swallow it.
Yeah.
Like I was chewing on it. I was about to throw up.
Was
and
it
Bissell-
gross? Or
It was
just
not
like
good. No, it was not good. And Bissell's like, oh, dude, go to the bathroom. And I just
threw up?
I didn't throw it out. I just spit it out. It was disgusting, dude. And
Did you finish it with the quail egg shooter at least?
no, huh?
Dang.
Yeah. That was like, I guess the next project would have got me.
Yeah, that was something Bingham always liked to do.
Yeah. It was a funny story. It was a good time. I mean, that was kind of the heyday of Boise State at the time. I'm trying to think. It was
You
08.
talking the IOU sushi or?
Well, just the timing, Probably that too.
Yeah.
Trying to think. So, I mean, everything was going well. So everybody was having success. It was like good times.
It was good, but I do remember hearing that the Nevada coaches banned some of their players from going to these all-you-can-eat places because they would just
like
get
gorge
too
themselves.
fat. Yeah. No,
probably would.
I'm
They
dead
probably would.
serious.
They'd just be in like a food coma after practice or something.
Yeah,
But
sushi.
Reno, the buffets at Reno are probably like pretty
Yeah.
legit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
$15, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, but that all-you-can-eat sushi was probably 25 maybe.
Ooh, back then?
Yeah, but I mean, they were feeding you nonstop. I mean, you would be not even halfway through your roll, and remember that, guys? What's next, guys?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go to IOU as much as you guys did, but
Yeah,
that
I
was good
had a
times.
big appetite.
Yeah.
So we would be remiss if we have a player from the first Fiesta Bowl, right? You played in that Fiesta Bowl, right?
Yep.
In that year. We all have memories of it, obviously, but we're from the other side of it. But what would you, I mean, looking back at that year, that game maybe, to this day, what do you still think of? If you do think, it sounds like you've kind of, like you got a real life and stuff, but take us back
Yeah.
a little bit. What stands out about that year?
That's a good question. Stands out.
You were a sophomore?
I was a sophomore. Yeah. The class 2 years above me was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was a lot of good players there. That was Ian Johnson's breakout year. Our offensive line was really good. It's kind of funny that people probably don't think or talk about, but we had a defensive lineman, Dennis Ellis. You guys remember this?
He was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was sorry the first year because he was a junior college transfer. Matter of fact, he wanted my number. He wanted 44.
Oh.
Yeah, so I remember he transferred, and tried to, hey, what can I do to get your number? I'm like, dude, I don't want to give you my number. Oh, come on, man. Honestly, I thought, well, maybe he'll give me like $2,500. I don't know. I mean, how bad do you want it? It was kind of like, well, man, maybe I can get you some girls or something. Or,
Some sushi.
don't need help with that. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't take the
Yeah.
ones that you're offering. Yeah.
Just
say
saying.
that special
No,
tuna
probably smart.
would not be very special.
So,
But he was so soft that first year.
Then
the next year it was he was maybe the best guy on our defense.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not by the numbers, but I mean, I remember Tad Miller. You guys remember Tad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember talking to him after the Fiesta Bowl and being like, "Hey, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, those guys are pretty tough. I mean, how was that?" And he's like, "I think Dennis Ellis is better than all those
Get
guys."
out, dude. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
and he was no lineman. Tad Miller was
No.
Tad Miller.
Miller's
Yeah,
on
Yeah,
that.
O-line,
Yeah.
66.
Ellis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Ellis get in trouble for like laptops or something?
He
Or
did.
was
He
that-
stole a
Stole
laptop
some
or something?
laptops
Yeah.
from the football team.
Gotta have a
office.
little bit of that on
guy-
your team, right? We've talked about that before.
Gotta have a little bit of that.
So, but I mean, historically, like we're in 2024, we're asking you about it right now, but it's still, I mean, when we, it comes up.
Almost
It's part of
20
the
years
lore
ago.
of college football, right?
Yeah.
Like when you were in that season during that game, right? Like, did you have any kind of understanding
I
that
don't
this
think
was like a huge,
Yeah, you kind of don't know until afterwards. But then I guess I kind of always thought, well, we'll get back there.
You'll do
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
well, we did, I guess,
did,
but
but-
it's been a while.
Yeah, it was the year after I graduated. But yeah, it was a great season. I mean, it was. I will say, as a player, so I played next to Corey, which was nice because that guy was a great player.
He was good.
Yeah, and that makes a difference. I mean, the better players you play next to kind of makes your season better.
Yeah. They take up all the blockers. They take up all the
Well,
guys.
I mean, they do things. They
do their job.
They do their job. They make plays. I mean, they make it. It's easy to rally behind guys like that. So yeah. I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but yeah, I'm thinking about that season. Yeah, it's getting to be a long time ago. I'm trying to remember.
They say it's like the second greatest college football game ever played. Behind that Texas UCS game,
USC.
USC.
You know what I do?
It's kind of interesting.
Something that does stick out about that season was playing at San Jose.
That was a near.
Yeah.
Is that the one that
Near
was like
win.
tip PAT or
a
tip
field
field
goal.
goal?
No, we
won on a field goal.
Montgomery
Yeah.
nailed the field goal at the end
Oh,
to win
that's
it.
what that
And
was, yeah.
actually, Marty Tadman had a punt return. Just got it just within his range. Yeah, we pinned him back. They punted it. Marty takes it pretty far enough for a field goal, and we win.
It's when Ian Johnson got the collapsed lung, right?
That's right.
Like the punctured lung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of funny thing about Montgomery, the left-footed kicker. So we would let's think about this. We'd fly in, so we'd have our Friday walkthrough practice, and so we were always, running through special teams and kind of do the whole deal. At the end, we're going through punt return, punt, all this. And the very last thing we did was we kicked a field goal. And Monty missed it every single time. I'm not even lying.
Always miss.
Yeah, and Choate was just like, "Oh, we're good. Like, we don't got time for this. Like, we're out of here." And then it got to be like he legitimately tried to make it, and he missed it every time. And it was like, "Nope, he missed it. You guys, we're good. We're good. He missed it. We're gonna be fine."
Because that was a good sign that he missed it.
Yeah, it's just for whatever reason he would miss that field goal, and then he was pretty money in the
Yeah,
games.
he was. Yeah. That's a good point. No, I think that was the only real scare that year,
and
really.
that was a tough place to play. It was, the stadium was just old and rickety, and the fans are kind of like Fresno fans, but there's not that many of them.
Yeah,
It's kind of quiet.
Not much energy.
Yeah, and it kind of started pretty quiet, and then as it was like, oh, this is a game, there was kind of more and more people that showed up there.
It's funny how that happens sometimes. I've seen that at other places, like Kansas a year or two ago was beating someone, and it was like the whole city showed up for like the second half. They just like let people in for free.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Out of the Blue, that show? You haven't?
Maybe when it came out.
It was like a documentary about that
Oh, yeah.
season.
Do you know who has a part in that?
Who was
You.
part? Yeah.
You have a part in that.
Yeah, there's a snippet.
There's like they were talking about Dan Hawkins, and they were like, talking
the
about
deal.
his. Yeah, they were talking about how he'd always say these, famous sayings, or he always had these weird ways of saying stuff. And they're like, Kyle Gingg, he's like, he knows how to do it.
The Zen master doesn't seek the target, but to be the bow.
Yeah,
Come on, give us what? Give us some more of those, Kyle. You got more of those?
Yeah, I got more.
he was like the Dan Hawkins guy.
Yeah, so when unofficially, I like impersonating. Some people are easier to impersonate than others. They say it's the highest form of flattery.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So we played, this would have been my red shirt year when we played in the Liberty Bowl, which is in Memphis.
That was a sweet game, by the way.
That was the Avalos interception.
That was a sweet game.
Yeah. So they must have had an ice storm or something, but the field was like frozen. And he comes out and says a couple things, but he's like, "Hey guys, all right, here's the deal. They got this new shoe. It's called the Vapor." And the Vapor had been out for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It's really going to cut into this ice. And it was just like, he had this whole talk and said about how awesome, like talk to Nike. They got this new shoe called the Vapor.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Oh, man, that guy was good.
He was good.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and understand, I've run a business and stuff. It's like, yeah, he got it. Yeah.
Kind of knew what he was talking about. Hey, there's a couple things I kind of want to discuss, if that's all right with you guys. Let's see. There was some controversy with Danielson. Did you guys see that
I did.
on Twitter?
Misquoting.
I'm not sure if you saw that, Kyle, or you don't have any social media. Well, anyway, Danielson.
Too busy working.
That's a good idea. Well, hey,
Or I was.
working as a
You said it was
trophy
all the
husband,
time.
That's right.
taking selfies of yourself. So anyway, Danielson was misquoted as saying that BSU wouldn't allow freshmen to have NIL stuff.
Freaking love it.
Is what he said. It said it caused him a bunch of heartache because he said that isn't a deal, and he had to get on the phone with all of his guys.
I think I did read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Does that matter?
Well, the thing that bugged me the most about that whole situation was, and I think we've talked about it a little bit, but first of all, he didn't exactly say that, right? And then the biggest thing was, so there was a local reporter put it out, then had to retract it.
That was hilarious, by the way.
But the thing that bugged me the most is that some national media picked up on it, and even though the reporter kind of retracted and said that was my bad, they ran with it and it went viral.
Yeah.
And had millions and millions of views. And there was people on ESPN talk shows that are like, what's Coach Danielson thinking? Just bashing on the guy. And he never even said that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that bugs me is that and that's just kind of the status of media or whatever nowadays, that someone can say something, put it out there. It doesn't even have to be accurate. And then it becomes this big firestorm. So I felt bad for Danielson. I felt bad for the reporter that made the mistake. Ultimately, yes, because it was kind of roll your eyes, come on, dude. But ultimately, if I said something like that and it went viral, I felt for him, because just talking to other people, they were I hope he doesn't lose his job over something like that, So ultimately, I was like, you never want to see someone lose their job who's married, has a kid, but
the coach can't. The coach can't get involved really in that. The coach can't dictate NIL deals.
What he actually said, I agree with, because it sounds like that Boise State is not guaranteeing freshmen money from the NIL collective. That's what he said. So freshmen can come. They're just not promising, hey, you're a 4-star through whatever you are. When you come here, you're going to have $100,000 from the NIL. Boise State is not doing that as of now, which I agree with. We only have so much money in Boise, Idaho, and the NIL. So I would prefer to give the money to the Ashton Genties, the Andrew Simpsons, the Hassanines, the guys who've proven it, because we don't have money to give to these 18-year-old kids.
He's saying come earn it.
So And, But he never said they're banned from getting it, which is what he was quoted, because that's, first of all, against the rules. You can't do that. Yeah. And secondly, these freshmen can come and they can get an NIL deal. But the collective is not going to give a true freshman before he's done anything. And I agree with that. And I think that's the culture. And I know I did see some of the I saw some of the commentary from some of the national people, and this isn't going to work with this, that, and the other. But I think that's, I don't know, man. I will say this: Danielson's doing something right, because they had that portal opening window, and we didn't lose a single starter. We didn't lose a single guy in the 2 deep, which no one can say that, especially no group of 5 team can say that. I mean, so that's impressive. And now I'm not saying that's all money. I think that whatever he's doing, running the program, guys are buying in. We'll see how the season goes.
But I've never met the guy.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see him hired. Just watching. I mean, I pretty much watched almost every game this past season.
It was a weird year.
I mean, when he took over, I was like, dude, that's vintage Boise State right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters? I mean, on the freshman NIL thing, like, what would you?
How would you? No, I would agree with that statement. Yeah, you got to come in and earn it. Yeah, for sure. This is, like I said, these are a bunch of 18-year-olds that, they're babies.
If you're a starting junior, like if you're a linebacker and you're a junior and you're not getting NIL, and then a
freshman gets paid, you're pissed, man.
Yeah,
that screws up with your. I think that screws with the stuff.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, for me, that would not feel good at all.
All of that's going to go out the window, though, when the coach has a chance to get a 5-star guy at a linebacker and he's going to offer him money. Like, all of that will go out the window at that point.
We're not getting any 5-star
I know, I'm just
guys.
saying, or like a really highly touted guy, like a Kyle Gingg, and they're like, hey, if you give him $150,000, he'll guarantee you, and then they fall for it. And I don't think it's at some point that's going to happen.
Yeah, but I think Danielson seems like the type of guy that thinks about all that stuff. What does that do to the culture and the camaraderie of the team? Nobody's going to like that guy.
Yeah,
if they do that, and that's probably the check and balance there.
That's a good point.
To keep coaches from doing that.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine the payrolls down on bigger teams where you're managing. If you have a general manager and you're like, okay, these redshirt guys are getting paid X, or these, freshmen through junior guys are getting paid Y. I just think that would be a tough spreadsheet to manage.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to figure out who's worth what.
Yeah.
And keep
on the open market for sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Are these kids really that mature enough to handle that and understand that, and still stay focused and do the best they can? Maybe they are, because when it first came out that they could start making money, I was like, yeah, finally, because we got a scholarship check and it paid for the rent and not much else after that.
Little sushi.
Well,
did it pay for sushi?
Well, and I will say, I blessed to have the parents that I did and do, and they said, yeah, you got to eat, so they gave me money every month to make sure I could eat. But it's not like I wasn't working. You can't go get a job. You can't play football and have a job, because it's over. You're supposed to do no more than 40 hours, and it's way more than that.
Wasn't it 20? I thought the number was 20.
I thought it was 40.
Well, it was whatever number it is. It's
yeah.
Right?
You're going. Yeah, you got your meetings and workouts and practice, and then all the stuff that you do that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 0 periods before practice. They technically didn't count that towards practice time, but it's on the schedule. Yeah. There's 20 minutes of practice, but so it's I feel good that some guys are getting more out of it than just that. And you guys know that just your blanket college degree is not worth anything anymore anyways. Yeah. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. Gosh, when what's the guy, Manning? The Manning guy, the Texas quarterback that's third string, he made $3 million last year or whatever. Actually, on a different note, to your point, Utah State, see how many quarterbacks they brought in?
4
transfer
quarterback. Yeah, CJ Tiller, he was a Boise State quarterback. Yeah. He was in the running, right?
Yeah.
They told him he was going to be third string quarterback going after spring ball just now, right? So he hits the portal, right? ends up transferring to Utah State. And it's like, okay, he was the third transfer quarterback. And then they brought in another guy who was a BYU guy that went to Arizona State. And now he's at Utah State. So it's like CJ Tiller, where's he going to get mixed?
That's
you know what I
tough.
mean? Like, where's he falling in that?
I don't know. I
Whatever,
think the
man.
transfer is tough for sure.
Anyways. Uh-oh.
It's time for 5 questions with Kyle Gingg.
Kyle, nobody's got over 3, FYI.
Oh, this is trivia. That's right.
Yeah,
That's trivia.
this is that's the theme music there. That's how you know it's time to get locked in, time to get focused, time to put on that thinking cap that got you an offer from Harvard. Was it Harvard? Which Ivy League school
Harvard.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Penn.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was talking to Penn too. Actually, was going to go on a trip there, but they messed up my schedule like twice.
Come on, Penn.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. Number 1. And just to warn you, not all these questions make sense. Okay, just go with it.
Most don't.
Yeah. Number 1, geography. You're from Phoenix. True or false? The Arizona State amphibian is the Arizona tree frog.
False.
Can't accept that. It's true.
Are you serious?
It's the Arizona tree frog.
A lot of tree frogs?
What state?
There's hardly any trees in Arizona.
A lot of tree
What-
frogs
well,
down there.
that's not true.
What states have a state amphibian?
Dude,
I've
obviously
never heard
all
of
that.
that.
I
I
should have known by the
just
nature of
saying.
that question that was true, but I
Tree frog. Not sure I've ever seen a tree frog. Obviously, you
There's
haven't.
like a sculpture in Phoenix about this Arizona tree frog.
A tree frog.
All right.
Now you know.
Oh for 1.
This is hard.
You don't live there. A lot of pressure, man. I mean, you have agricultural experience, maybe a little farming. What's the difference between a mule and a donkey?
Wow. That's a great question.
A mule is a donkey crossed with a horse. And
We'll accept it. That's correct.
And what?
That's correct. You can stop.
yeah, okay.
A mule
Wait.
is the offspring of a female horse and a donkey.
Yeah.
Wait, what's it? A donkey is a.
Mules can see with their eyes going forward too. Right?
I don't have that. That's extra information.
Yeah, ask Mr.
But they
Google.
can't-
Donkeys are their own species.
Yeah,
Are they?
And mules are sterile, right?
Mule's a
Yes.
hybrid.
The mules cannot
that is true.
create more mules.
Yes.
I thought donkeys were.
I'm not a horse guy, but I do know that.
Yeah.
That's correct. 1 for 2.
It's a fun one.
Wait. You said mules can see forward?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
so
can see
horse,
forward, right?
Horses got to do that. 'Cause
Oh, they can't see forward.
well,
gotta do
they
that.
got, yeah.
Interesting.
They got eyes on the side, right? So they got to do like they
Swivel.
got horses have a blind spot. I don't
Right in
think,
front of them.
I don't think mules do that.
Dude, big advantage for mules on the battlefield.
Well, I
if they're,
think
like,
that,
going in for that.
yeah, as like a pack animal or
that-
if you're riding, like you're hunting and stuff, the mules are pretty good steed to have.
All right, 1 for 2.
Don't know from experience, but that's what I've heard.
Sounds good to me. The topic of this question is honesty. Pick a number between 1 and 10. Don't say it. And be honest. Was it 7?
Yeah.
That's
It
correct.
was really?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There you go.
You got a 10% chance of that. You nailed it. Most people don't nail that question.
No.
Well, I don't know how
I
many
was
never
times
heard
I got
that
it.
question.
3 or 7, 3 or 7, 7. Said it was a 7? Yep.
All right. He's off to a hot start here, too. He could go for 4.
Tree frog. How that?
Yeah.
Number 4. Your name is Kyle. Name 3 other Boise State football players named Kyle. 3 of them.
Oh, I could do this. I think I could do this.
Yeah, there's lots of Kyles out there. There's 4 in my 5th grade class.
We need Boise State
Boise
football
State.
player.
I know. I'm just kind of
All time, right?
Yeah,
Anytime.
actually,
Anytime.
Kyle, Texas had the largest gathering of Kyles.
Oh, yeah, that's the
recently.
thing. My father-in-law's name is Kyle.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, did you go to that?
I did not. Yeah,
Missed opportunity.
missed it.
He's stalling.
All right. Kyle, we got Kyle Brotzman.
Okay.
Does Kyle count? Does this Kyle
No, you
count?
can't, other than yourself.
Okay.
So we got Kyle Brotzman.
How many do I need?
3. We got
Okay.
1 already.
Got Kyle Stringer.
Kyle Stringer.
How much time do I got?
10 more seconds.
Come on.
We got
Got Brotzman, Stringer, Kyle Wilson.
There you go. Kyle Wilson.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
There was
I was thinking
Kyle
Sosnowski.
Kyle Ifa.
Is there a Sosnowski or something? Kyle Sosnowski.
Cole?
Was that
Was that
Cole?
Cole?
That was Cole.
Dang. Efa, yep.
Yeah.
He's a local guy.
What a number cut. How many did you come up with?
I had 4. I had those 4 that we talked about.
That's impressive.
There we go.
Okay,
So,
3 for 4.
and-
If you get this last one,
Whoa, new high score.
new
right
high
here.
score.
well, guys, he's an Ivy League recruit.
Hey,
It's Ivy League
What would you
level here.
expect?
definitely haven't had any other Ivy League recruits.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the room.
Nope.
Number 5, without looking, what color socks are you wearing?
Got it.
Got it?
Yep. Black.
Black.
And?
Mark?
Nailed it.
Hey,
Nailed it.
wow.
People miss that? People miss that?
Well, no, it's not the
Never
same
had
questions every time.
Oh, never had that.
Never had it.
Do I know the answer to that? I think
What
it's
do you-
I
white.
always
Yeah.
would know.
Yeah, they're white.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Is that an easy one?
That's-
oh, we gave him an
Gosh,
easy
Arizona
then.
tree frog.
Yeah, that's
you
You
should
almost
be
had
frustrated.
5 for 5.
He's not gonna sleep tonight after that.
We
one.
I
we
was
need
thinking
to.
of the Gila monster, but that's it's not an amphibian. It's a lizard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, beat me up.
Come on,
Don't lose sleep over it.
seriously, that's ridiculous.
I mean, you would have been the only one to get 5 for 5.
But
you would have
Gotta
gone down
leave
in the history
we gotta
books.
leave something for somebody.
4
to
for
come in.
5 though.
4
That's
for
first
5.
place.
We have a new leader in 5 questions, Kyle Gingg.
are we gonna bring everybody back and?
I'm sure they're all
grill
just
'em?
dying to come back, do a little tournament.
You know who was actually really nervous was BJ Raines. He was like,
He
sweating.
was like, I'm
He
going
was
to get
not-
0. Then he got the first one. He's like, I'm going to go 5 for
I'm
5.
gonna go 5. We're like, whoa, dude, you gotta like somewhere in the middle. yeah, BJ was
good.
he was super worried about it. Well, there was one other topic I did want to discuss.
All right.
Not a huge thing, but the current athletic director is Jeremiah Dickey. And he has a contract that expires this year. And I don't know if they're 3-year contracts.
It's a 5-year contract. It expires next year.
It expires next year.
Yeah. He's going on like 14 or 15 months left on it. Yeah.
Is
He's
that a
from
big
Texas.
deal? Is he? Well, yeah, I guess he was at Baylor for a while.
Yeah, he's from El Paso.
Yeah, he was at Texas. He's been around the Big 12 country for a long
Well, he's
time.
done a decent job.
and soon to be back there. But yeah,
He's done a decent job.
He's done
He
a great
doesn't
job.
have an updated contract. Is that a big deal or not?
I think if you get within 1 year, it becomes a big deal. Because
So he's got 2 months left.
yeah, I think they
I
need
don't
to
know
get
what's
it done
normal
before this.
with other athletic, like the timing of it.
My
Is that-
talking to someone that my understanding is that that's not normal to go into the last year of a contract without it extended. Kind of like a coach, kind of like a head coach. Although he's not recruiting, but
I thought I read too that his pay raise is like pennies.
it's nothing. And he's making like $450K, which is great money. But when you talk about the landscape of college sports and what ADs make, it's like a Boise State coach compared to an SEC coach. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think it's a big deal yet. I think if we get into this football season without a contract extension,
far
it's
into
a
the
big deal. Any you're in week 1, it's not extended. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters because let's say he gets a raise and they give him what can they really pay him? $700,000 maybe, which is great. As soon as a Big 12 job comes open that he wants, he's gone. He's gone. They're going to pay him $2 million a year, 1.5 to 2 million a year in that conference. He's going to be gone. So it doesn't really matter what we do here. He sounds like he likes it here and whatever, but they all like it. I mean, all the coaches love it here until they don't. Okay, till they can get 3 or 4 times their pay somewhere else. But I don't understand. He's done an amazing job, especially compared to the guy that he followed. I'm not sure what the wait is for. I mean, you'd want to just give him the level of respect and whatever. He should be extended fairly quickly. Yes.
At Baylor, Mac Rhodes makes $1,550,000.
Isn't that where it came from?
Yeah, he was. I think he was associate.
Well,
director.
he was an associate guy.
Yeah.
He was a second in command.
Kansas
or whatever.
makes $1.5 million. So I mean,
Yeah, that's-
anybody at a Power 4 school is
So
going to give him
three times what he's
$1
making
million.
here. It's funny, JD. I see randomly like on Twitter and YouTube, like he shows up on Big 12 podcasts fairly
really?
frequently. Oh yeah,
Just
like guys that he knew from down there, like podcast hosts and radio hosts. He'll show up. I mean, he was just on a couple weeks ago, And the athletic director of Boise State, and they're like, oh yeah, good to see you. Like he knows he has contacts there, and he definitely stays in contact in that area of the country.
Have you asked him to be on our pod, Mark?
I have not asked him.
What are you waiting for?
I will ask him. I'd love to ask him. So I'll try. I will definitely try. I'd love to get him on.
I was hoping he could get us in the Big 12. Like, I was like, he may have some connections to get us in.
I'm sure he tried, man. I am sure he tried. I think we're a couple years too late on that hire. We've talked about that.
A couple athletic directors.
Yep.
I got kind of a quick funny story.
Go ahead.
So I've met him a couple times.
Jeremiah Dickey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, the first time I met him was at just a men's night. I have a Navy SEAL buddy who was like giving his testimony, talking about his time in the SEALs. Anyways, he was there it got introduced through a mutual friend, and I shook his hand. I said, "Hey, so I played linebacker with Avalos, and he hosted me on a recruiting trip and the whole deal." And he just looked at me, just like, kind of stared at me for a few seconds.
Really?
But he fired him like
Like
what was
right
it, like
after
a few
that?
days after that.
Oh, really?
He was probably like, what is this guy trying to do right now?
That's funny.
Yeah.
What angle are you working?
Yeah, so I kind of felt that. I was like, yeah, I mean, I know Vinny Peretta is like my best friend, and, you know, talking about, oh, yeah, I know Vinny. Anyway, so I think it softened him up. But he was wondering what angle I was working.
That's funny.
That was a tumultuous time for him. He's probably looking at your like undercover agent coming in.
Yeah, now it made a lot of sense after that happened. I was like, oh, that's
like, sorry, Kyle, the
decision's
decision's been made.
Yeah.
We can't save your friend.
Yeah.
My only thing with Jeremiah Dickey is I do think he should be extended. I think he's going to leave within 2 years. My hope is that a shovel is in the ground to build a north end zone expansion, whatever, because he's been pushing for it. But we've seen renderings for more than a decade of Albertson Stadium expansion or suites or whatever, and it always gets shelved. It was COVID, or it was a economic thing, or a new president. Everything keeps pushing it back. And my fear is that if he leaves and it doesn't start, okay? And I know we're going to talk about this. We'll talk about next time about the growing divide between the Power Four and everyone else. If it doesn't happen soon, and then he leaves, there's a new athletic director comes in, and all of a sudden we're playing in what's essentially the FCS, right? If the Power Four really split off, I can see them saying, like, this is going to cost us how much? And we're playing in a different level. And are we really... If it doesn't get started before he leaves, I'm worried it ever happens. I'm serious about that.
If they go to the playoffs this year, if BSU gets in the playoff,
which is possible,
I bet you every big project that they have queued up will start.
Do you think because
of the momentum and all the excitement and all that stuff? In the past, that's what it's done.
Yeah, usually.
I mean, the Fiesta Bowl kicked off a bunch of expansion in the stadium and, the Sky Center. And I don't know if it kicked off the indoor facility. I think that was Hawkins that tried to get that going. But
yeah, we had that before.
Yeah, it was Hawkins.
Yeah. But it just seemed like there was a lot of development. The coaches.
I agree with that. I'm just saying.
And everything. It's like that does so much to like get big projects done. But Hawks said that that's pretty much a done deal.
It is, and until they start it, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, we've been seeing. I know this is further along than the East Side. Remember the East Side expansion?
Yeah.
Renderings that were super sweet.
Where's that? They did that when Harsin was about to leave. Yeah. They're like, "Hey, stay, and we'll do this." Yeah, and then he's like,
"Until
two middle fingers."
Until it gets started, it's not started.
Well, how
Things
much
can
money
change.
are we spending on renderings? I mean, we actually have to do something.
Well, I mean, the baseball team. We had a baseball team. They had renderings of a baseball stadium on campus,
which I actually wouldn't have minded a baseball team.
Sure,
Sorry.
but it's fine, but it would be fun, but it's a budget loss.
Yeah.
A baseball team and building a stadium, and you can't do that right now. Yeah. You need every dollar going towards football and basketball and just maintaining what we have.
Actually, side note on that, Mark and I were on a college huddle.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Podcast.
I missed it.
Anyway, we were on a college huddle podcast, and we talk about the east side of the stadium. You were never. Did you ever sit on the east side of the stadium?
Well, he was playing.
Of, like the Broadway side. Well, you've gone as a non-player in the past, right?
You mean as a non-player?
Yeah, like a fan.
I don't think so.
Have you been to a game as a fan?
Yeah, I've been to a game, but I've sat Well, recently, you know what? I have sat on the east side long time ago.
Okay, well, there's the bathrooms, facilities.
Okay.
And in the winter, there's this trough setup where you're like shoulder to shoulder with guys in big winter coats.
Just PM.
And those steams kind of coming back up. Winter coats. Well, anyway, I thought it was funny because we brought it up in that college huddle.
Yeah, and he was like,
And
"That's
he's like,
SEC
dude,
country."
everybody has those. I was
Yeah,
like, it's not just
SEC
us.
country,
Yeah.
man. They all got troughs down there. So we're kind of
like-
waiting for the.
I kind of want
invite.
to put one in my house. So
You got 3 boys.
yeah,
So we're not that
Makes a
unique.
lot of
then.
sense.
Did
No,
we follow
we're not
their
unique.
lead?
I thought it was just unique to a
No.
lower budget
Yeah, that's
school,
what I
but
thought.
that's like
Florida. Because he's the podcaster for Florida for the Florida Gators, and he was saying that the troughs. Yeah, I wasn't sure
Missouri?
how good Missouri was going to fit into the SEC, but I went to a game there and they had the trough, so I knew they fit in. That's what he said. That's what the guy.
the only
said.
thing that bugs me is like they don't have to use the troughs in the winter.
They don't understand the
The steam.
steam situation.
Yeah, the like spa
Yeah.
scenario that we got going on in there.
It's good for the pores.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Well, I thought that was interesting. I mean, I think Jeremiah's done an amazing job. I don't know how long you can hold on to him, especially if he's a Texas guy and he wants to get back there. There's so many schools in Texas that'll pay him.
Yeah, you
know,
can't. But
4 or 5
I'm hoping we can get another year. Get the shovel in the ground. Get that thing started. Because the north end zone renderings this time around are sweet, with a lot of suites.
Which
Ground level. Have you seen those?
I have no.
10 like ground level suites like NFL Stadium, and then all loge seating like boxes and stuff, and it encloses the north end zone, so it's all the way around, connects, but not high. It's low, so that in the football facility you can still see in.
okay.
So it's kind of the height that it is, but it goes all the way around.
I always thought
It will be sweet, and they have plans for it, and they're funding for it. Supposedly, so they're supposed to start after this season. Next season, there won't be a north end zone seating.
Yeah.
And then the following season, it would be done. That's the plans.
I always thought they
We'll see
didn't
what
want to
happens.
finish off the north end zone because they could see the river.
Well, you can't see the river right now.
Yeah, I just thought they wanted to keep that view going as much as
Well, the view isn't going to change because it's not going any higher. So I don't think it's going to change the view.
well. It would be a sweep.
Right?
But it would be a sweep.
Am I saying something wrong?
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
you are.
focused on the.
Yeah.
I'm not focused on the river when I'm watching a football game.
That's
Well,
a good
you know,
point.
it's kind of cool to see in the fall and stuff.
I don't
whatever.
think that'll change. You don't see the river anyways because the football
I know. I'm
complex
just saying,
is
like
there.
the trees and everything.
You'll
and
still
all
be
that
able
Just
to
stuff.
go
see the
hang
trees.
out by the river.
Look, I'm
Brandon.
sorry.
Go
okay?
play
I
frolf in
enjoy-
the park.
When
Go
I'm
hang
in
out
the
by
river and I hear people talking and laughing, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
You're like, I'd like to be a part of
That's
that.
cool.
Someday.
I like that. I like that. I don't know. Well, what are you gonna do? Anything
right.
else, gents?
I think we're good. Kyle, thank you for coming. It's nice to meet you.
My pleasures.
Good luck, Kyle.
Yeah.
If you're into commercial real estate, you want to talk to Kyle, give him a call. Don't hit him up on social media.
If you're on YouTube, subscribe.
Yes.
Like the
we're
video.
pushing towards 300 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Getting
help
close.
us out.
Let's see if we can get there. We'd like to get there before next episode. Got 2 weeks.
Do it. See you next time.